This is the best way to do a New Year's resolution. Instead of people setting themselves one goal for the year and then end up giving up 2 weeks later. Now, here's how you actually stick to your goal for the entire year. And these tips also work for if you're doing just normal goals, not for New Year's resolutions. Me personally, I kind of don't do New Year's resolutions like most people, where they just set one goal and that's their one goal for the entire year. I do it kind of differently. It's still kind of a New Year's resolution. I'll get into how I do it in a little bit. What I'm talking about with the one goal, New Year's resolutions don't really work for those people. It might be because they're lazy or because they're just quitters. These tactics that I'm going to teach you will actually help you stay to those goals. See, why most people give up originally for New Year's resolutions is because they start it with motivation. They say, you know what, this year I'm going to get lean, get a six-pack, go to the gym every day. They start off with motivation and then they quit because that motivation dries up after the first 2 weeks. And they're like, I don't really want to do this anymore, so they give up. At the start of the year, if you go to the gym, you'll see an increase of people towards the start of the year. It starts to drop off around 2 months in. And at the end of the year, you can see the actual people who stayed with it and actually completed their New Year's resolution. Instead of doing motivation, they did it anyway and were disciplined to do that goal. Those people that give up, they end up going next year. They go, oh, I'll do it next year instead. And they keep on repeating this cycle over and over and over again. And they never get it completed. They just give up once it starts to get tough, once the motivation is dried up. And they think they're doing something because they're doing it every year. They've set themselves a goal. They do a little bit of action towards it. They think, oh, it's fine, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it later. They end up not doing it ever, but they get that little satisfaction and dopamine high because they're going towards that. What you need to know is going towards your goals is going to suck, no matter what. It's not going to be fun the entire time. You're going to have to push through parts that you aren't enjoying. You just got to keep on doing that work. Here is probably the number one reason that people quit. It's because they put too much importance on that one goal. Sure, it should be important to you where you actually take action and go after it, but it shouldn't be so important that you're obsessing over every single time of the day. Let's say that your goal is to get big in the gym. So you're obsessing over this goal over and over and you're not seeing any results. So you're like, oh, I should just give up. It's not working. It's not really working for me. It's not good. They all make these excuses because they're not seeing anything because they had too much importance on this one goal. And also, most people don't know how to set a goal. The goal should be something not super easy where you complete it in the first 1 week. Also, it shouldn't be super hard where you're like, I'm going from zero and I want to make $1 billion a year. Well, that is very tough. It probably shouldn't be your goal for the year. You should be doing a goal towards that. Let's say you're making $0 now, and let's say by the end of the year you want to make 5K a month, which is achievable, but also it's not $1 billion in a year. But also with your goal, you want to make it that it's something that you can achieve, but also not easy to achieve. So when, let's say you take, for example, the money amount, but you set it as $500 and you eventually hit it 6 months through. Well, now you've got no more goal for the rest of that 6 months. So you want to have something that is achievable by the end of the year, but also you're not going to complete early because then you kind of quit and slack off because you've already hit that goal. I'll give you another example. Let's say your goal is to get one chick's phone number or her Instagram or her contacts. Well, that isn't really a good goal if you are an extrovert, like talking to people, not really scared talking to people. But if you were shy and you're like, I don't really like talking to people I don't know, well, sure, that is a good goal because that's a big stepping stone for you. But if you were to, let's take the example, you're the extrovert, your goal should better off be learn to be more confident talking to women. If you're nervous talking to women, whatever it might be in your situation, you want to have it more of a bigger leap, not something you can easily achieve. And with your goals, you shouldn't be telling people about your goals. Let's say your goal is to make $1 million, for example. You shouldn't be telling people that this is your goal because you think that you've achieved something because you've spoken about it. Your brain thinks, oh, we succeeded, we took action to our goal because you spoke about it. But that's not actually true. Now you will be looking for stuff like that where you get those quick little dopamine hits, which ends up being no action at all. You just keep on speaking about what you want to be. You should instead not tell anyone about your goals, just go towards them instead. So what I do, instead of having that one goal for New Year's, I have a whole entire list of goals. Now, obviously, I've got it so I don't have 150 million goals. What I do is at midnight, I get up an empty doc, I write up what year it is and then goals, and then I write down for the next hour, I write down goals that I want to do for that year. I write as many goals as I can in that hour. After that hour, I don't add any more goals to it because if it was that important, I would have written it out in that hour. Now, why do I do from 12 to 1? It's not a magical time where if you do your goals at this time, they magically become real within the next couple months. No, it's just that I do it because it's the first thing I do during the year, and also at that time there's no distractions, there's no TV, there's no people walking around, no people want my attention. It's me just in a dark room with my computer screen and just a Google Doc, so I can't get distracted. Now let's say you got to go to bed early because you got work in the morning. That's totally fine. You can just do it when you have the spare hour. Just cut out any distractions, just have that piece of paper with a pen or your Google Doc or wherever you want to write this. As long as you've got that hour that you've written it out, you're not distracted in that hour, they will be perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be exactly from 12 to 1. After I've done the hours of goal planning, I go over last year's goals and tick over what I've done. So then if I go, oh, what did I do in 2023? I can click on my goals and see, oh, I've done this, I did this, I didn't do this, but I did it next year or then the year after. Now, when writing out goals, you'll get 10 out super quick. You'll probably get them in the first 10 minutes. For the next 10 to 15 minutes, you won't come up with a single one. You can't distract yourself by playing video games, watching the movies, doing whatever that you'll do to distract you. You need to make yourself sit and think about goals. And then goals will come to you, and then you keep on getting more and more goals until that hour comes up. And you have a good list of goals that you want to achieve for that year. Now, with the goals, there is no limit of goals that you can have in a year. Just don't pre-plan them. Make them come up to you in that hour. Because the reason I do that is because if you pre-plan them, you're going to get so many goals, and these goals most likely won't be the most important goals you can do. So the most important goals will come to you within that hour. After you've done the hour of thinking of goals, you'll be like, oh, I should have done this goal and this goal. These are important as well. Just leave them out. You shouldn't implement them. The reason you do the hour is because the most important goals come to you then, and all the other ones are irrelevant. I'll give you an example list right now. I don't want you to just copy this list and paste and be like, that's what I want for New Year's. Use this as an example. Don't copy it. It's just to get your mind thinking what you should be doing. Okay, you might have down, be more confident, don't be awkward, get a girlfriend, get lean so you can show your six-pack, stop being addicted to screens, stop wasting time, make more friends, learn new skills, optimize sleep, get better grades in school, go to the gyms X amount of times a week. So I don't want you to copy this list like I said before. I just wanted to get your mind going for thinking of examples. So let's say one of these works. Let's say you really want to get a girlfriend as your goal for next year. You can put that down. Just don't copy and paste this whole list because most of it won't work for you. The reason I don't do just one goal is, let's say my goal is to be on a diet, be healthy, right? So let's say I complete that one goal. For the whole entire year, I've completed just one goal. Compared to, let's say I wrote down 15 goals, I ended up completing 10. I couldn't complete 5, but in the end, I completed 10. So that means I completed 9 more goals than just the one. And also out of those 10 goals, one of them could have been that get lean, be on a diet goal that I just said before. But on top of that, I've improved myself even more in more aspects, done more stuff, had more goals, completed them. Even though I did miss out on 5 goals, that's perfectly fine. I can go after them the next year. Most people wait until New Year's. So let's say New Year's is 2 months away. People will wait all the way until New Year's to start that goal. Well, what you should do instead is don't wait those 2 months. You should start now because you will have a head start over those other people that waited 2 months. And most likely those people that waited 2 months will just quit after 2 weeks. And within those 2 months, most people do bad habits like distract themselves by doing video games, eating junk food, all the stuff that you shouldn't be doing. And sometimes they do the opposite of what they want their goal to be. Also, if you got a goal, let's say you don't want to watch movies, but you want to watch it the next year after, what you could do is you could write a list down of stuff to do next year if it's your goal to not do those things. So let's say you don't want to watch movies and you're like, oh, I really want to watch this movie. You can add it to a list. So then you're less likely to break that goal because you want to watch that movie, because you know that you can watch it later because you're not going to forget it because it's written down somewhere. This could also work for other stuff. So let's say you want to play video games. If it's your goal is not letting you do that, you can write it down so then you don't relapse. My New Year's resolutions that I do with multiple goals, it works for me personally. It might not work for you. Maybe it's just the one goal that works for you. Maybe this does work for you. See, for me, the one goal wouldn't work for me because I'm more likely to do the multiple goals. That's what I feel like just works best for me. But let's say you go, I really enjoy doing the one goal, working on that one goal well, that's perfectly fine. You can do that one goal, just as long as you get that completed and it works best for you. But also with the one goal, the one New Year's resolution, what I said about completing goals earlier will work for you. And also with achieving your goals, you need to take consistent action after it, because if you were to take one day and then you're like, oh, maybe not today, and you eventually do a little bit of work in 2 weeks, it'll be so hard to achieve that goal, especially because they'll take longer to do. And also sometimes, let's say you want to go on a diet, you go on a diet once every 2 weeks and you eat bad stuff in between, you are negatively affecting your goal. Short-term pain for a long-term gain.